Men, let me start with something that might surprise you. After more than 15 years of working with men and women in my clinic, I can tell you that the number one complaint I hear from women over 60 has nothing to do with how long you last, your size, or your stamina. It's something far more fundamental, something so small yet so powerful that once you understand it, it will completely change how you think about love and connection. And honestly, most men have no idea this is what's been missing. I'm Dr. Sophie Clark, a urologist who has spent my career helping men stay healthy, confident, and deeply connected to their partners. Today, I want to share a truth that didn't come from medical school or textbooks, but from countless conversations with women who've lived full, complicated, and beautiful lives. Women who have stayed faithful, who have loved deeply, and who quietly wish their partners understood one very human truth about intimacy and aging. When you reach your 50s, 60s, or 70s, intimacy changes. The rules that worked when you were 30 no longer apply. Many men come into my office thinking their problem is physical. They tell me they can't perform like they used to, that their desire has faded, or that something must be wrong with their bodies. So we run tests, hormones, circulation, prostate health, and often everything looks fine. So I ask a different kind of question, one that has nothing to do with blood flow and everything to do with connection. I ask, how's your relationship? When was the last time you touched your partner just because you wanted to feel close? When was the last time you really talked about what she feels, what she misses, or what she dreams about? And almost every time the room falls silent. Because most men realize in that moment they don't know. They've never been asked, and they've never thought to ask. What older women tell me again and again is not that they miss the intensity of youth. They miss the closeness. They miss being seen, being noticed, being held. One woman in her 70s said something that has stayed with me ever since. She told me, I don't care if he can't get hard anymore. I just want him to hold me like he used to. I just want him to look at me. That broke my heart because it revealed what so many women feel but never say, that the loss of affection hurts more than the loss of performance. This is the truth that too few men understand. Intimacy after 60 is not about perfection or performance. It's about connection. And connection begins with care, genuine, patient, intentional care. It means showing up not just with your body, but with your heart. When you do that, something powerful happens. The pressure fades, the fear of not being enough disappears, because what she wants most isn't the performance of your youth, it's the presence of your love. Let me give you an example. The first thing older women wish men understood is the power of slowing down. When you were younger, speed meant excitement, fast kisses, quick touches, the urgency of the moment. But now both your body and hers need something different. Her skin is softer, her body takes longer to respond, and what she truly craves is time. The feeling that you're not rushing, that you want to be there, that you care enough to savor every moment. Rushing makes her feel like her pleasure doesn't matter. Slowing down tells her she still does. It's not a weakness, it's a form of respect. It says, I'm here, I see you, I want to experience this with you. When you do that, her body relaxes, her mind softens, and the connection between you deepens. What used to feel routine begins to feel sacred again. She opens up to you, emotionally and physically, not because you demanded it, but because you earned her trust through patience. The second thing women wish you knew is that touch should not always come with an agenda. Too many men only reach for their partner when they want sex. And over time, she begins to associate your touch with expectation. She can sense when it's transactional. So she begins to pull back, not because she doesn't love you, but because she's tired of feeling like affection is a means to an end. You can change that today. Touch her just to touch her. Brush her arm while you watch TV. Hold her hand when you walk together. Kiss her forehead when you pass by in the kitchen. Small gestures like that speak volumes. They tell her, you matter to me even when I'm not trying to get something. These simple, consistent acts of affection are what reignite connection. They tell her she's loved, that her body is cherished, not for what it can do, but for who she is. When a woman feels that kind of safety and tenderness, desire returns. Naturally, effortlessly, beautifully. And the third truth is this: ask her what she needs. Most men never do. They assume they already know based on what used to work years ago. But her body has changed, her emotions have shifted, and her desires may be entirely different now. You can't guess your way into real intimacy. You have to ask. Not in the middle of a moment, but during a quiet time together. Ask gently, what feels good for you now? What do you miss? What would make you feel closer to me? And this is the hardest part. Don't interrupt. Don't explain. Just listen. Because what she shares with you is a gift. It's not criticism, it's trust. It's her giving you a roadmap to what makes her heart feel alive. When a man listens, truly listens, without defensiveness or pride, it changes everything. She feels seen, she feels valued, and once she feels safe, she will start to open in ways you may not have experienced in years. That kind of emotional intimacy often reignites physical intimacy more powerfully than any medication ever could. When you start to truly listen, you'll notice something change, not just in her, but in you. The space between you feels lighter. The tension that used to hover in the background begins to dissolve. And slowly, that quiet connection that might have faded over the years starts to return. But it doesn't stop there, because the next step is just as important, taking care of yourself, not only for your sake, but for hers. I can't tell you how many times I've seen men give up on their own health as they age. They stop moving as much, stop eating right, stop paying attention to how they feel. They shrug it off, saying like, that's just getting older. But what they don't realize is that when they neglect their body, they're also neglecting their relationship. Your health doesn't just belong to you, it affects the person who loves you. When you're too tired to go for a walk, she feels it. When you're short-tempered because you haven't slept well, she feels that too. When you stop showing energy or excitement, she wonders where you've gone. Taking care of your body, staying active, eating foods that keep your blood flowing, drinking water, getting enough rest is not about vanity. It's about love. It's about saying to your partner, I want to be here for you. I want to have the strength to hold you, the energy to listen to you, and the vitality to share life with you. Every healthy choice you make sends her that message, whether you realize it or not. She sees it, she feels it, and she loves you for it because it tells her that you still care about the life you share together. And then there's something that may surprise you, vulnerability. I know that word makes many men uncomfortable. You've been told all your life to be strong, to be in control, to hide your emotions. But here's the truth. The strength that holds a relationship together after 60 isn't the kind that comes from your muscles or your confidence in the bedroom. It's the kind that comes from honesty, from being real, from letting her see what's actually going on inside you. Older women tell me over and over again that what they miss most isn't the passion of youth, like it's the emotional closeness. They miss the conversations that used to last for hours, the way you used to open up and dream together. Over time, many men shut down emotionally. They don't mean to, it just happens. Life gets heavy, responsibilities build, and after years of being the provider, the protector, the problem solver, you forget how to let someone in. But when you open up even just a little, you remind her why she fell in love with you in the first place. Tell her what's been on your mind. Talk about your fears, your hopes, the things you still want to do together. Share your memories. Let her see the human side of you. The man who still feels, still cares, still dreams. That vulnerability doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you irresistible because it tells her, I trust you with my heart. And that kind of trust reignites connection faster than anything else. You might be thinking, but what if my body doesn't work the way it used to? What if I can't perform? I want you to know this. The women I talk to, the ones who have been married for 30, 40, even 50 years, don't define intimacy by performance. They define it by presence. They don't want you to be perfect. They want you to care. They want you to try. They want to feel chosen, desired, and cherished, even if things don't go exactly as planned. You can give her that no matter what's happening with your body. You can give her that with your words, your touch, your time. You can make her feel beautiful by looking at her with admiration, by telling her what she means to you, by holding her hand in silence and simply being there. When you show up like that, something amazing happens. As she responds, she softens, she opens, she begins to give back that same energy, that same tenderness, and suddenly the pressure you once felt to perform melts away because real intimacy has returned, the kind that isn't about technique or timing, but about love and trust. And that's where many men rediscover a joy they thought was gone forever. Because the truth is, it's never too late to fall in love again with the same woman. You just have to meet her where she is now, not where she used to be. You have to see her as she is today, wiser, softer, more complex, and love her for that. When you do, when you let go of the need to be perfect and instead focus on being present, everything changes. I've seen couples in their 70s and 80s who hold hands like teenagers. They laugh together, they flirt, they still make time for intimacy, not because their bodies work like they did at 30, but because they've learned to connect through the heart. They've learned that real passion comes from presence, not performance. And once you understand that, you'll never fear aging again, because you'll realize that this chapter of life isn't about losing something. It's about gaining depth, understanding, and a kind of love that's more powerful than anything youth could offer. So let's bring this all together. The older women I've spoken to, hundreds of them from all walks of life, have said the same thing in different words. They don't want miracles. They don't expect perfection. What they long for is presence. They want to feel seen, valued, and touched with tenderness. They want to know that the man they've loved for decades still notices them, still wants them, still chooses them. And that choice, gentlemen, isn't something you express once. It's something you renew over and over again in the way you show up. When you slow down, when you take care of yourself, when you listen and touch without expectation, when you let her see who you truly are, you're giving her what she's been missing: connection. And the beauty of connection is that it doesn't fade with time. In fact, it grows stronger when you nurture it. That's why some couples, even after 40 or 50 years, still radiate that spark of closeness. It's not because their bodies are perfect or because they've mastered some secret technique. It's because they've learned that love is built in the small, consistent moments. In the holding, the laughter, the listening, the care. The men who understand this don't fear aging. They embrace it. They see it as a chance to deepen, to rediscover, to evolve. They stop comparing themselves to their younger selves and start asking, what kind of partner can I be now? Because at this stage of life, strength looks different. It's not about proving anything. It's about offering security, warmth, patience, and understanding. That's what she remembers. That's what she holds on to. And here's a truth I wish every man could believe. You are not past your prime. You are not less masculine because your body has changed. You are not less capable of love or connection. The world tries to tell men that aging means decline, that intimacy fades, that your best days are behind you. But science, and more importantly, wisdom, says otherwise. Your body might slow down, but your capacity for love, empathy, and emotional strength only grows if you let it. So don't see these years as the end of something. See them as a beginning, a chance to love differently, more deeply, more intentionally. Because intimacy at this stage isn't about performance, it's about partnership. It's about two people learning how to be present with each other in a new way. It's softer, slower, but infinitely richer. And when you live that way, something remarkable happens. You'll start to notice her responding again. In her own time, in her own way, the warmth comes back, the laughter returns. You'll feel her hand reach for yours without hesitation. You'll see that sparkle in her eyes, that silent thank you for choosing her again, because deep down, that's what every woman wants. Not a perfect lover, but a partner who truly sees her. If you're wondering where to begin, start small. Tonight or tomorrow morning, find a quiet moment. Sit beside her, hold her hand, look her in the eyes, not as a routine gesture, but as an act of real attention. And ask her, what do you need from me? What makes you feel loved? What do you miss? Then let her speak. Listen without interrupting, without defending, without trying to fix anything. Just hear her. Because when you do that, you're telling her something words can't express, that she still matters, that her feelings are safe with you, and that you still choose her. Today and every day after. It may sound simple, but this is what reignites love. Not grand gestures or perfect performance, but everyday moments of care. That's how intimacy is reborn. In quiet rooms, in shared laughter, in the courage to be open again. And when you do this, you'll find something you didn't expect. You'll start to feel more alive yourself. You'll feel lighter, more connected, more human. Because giving love freely, without fear or pride, heals not just her, it heals you too. I've seen men who thought their best days were behind them discover that their greatest years were still ahead. I've seen couples who hadn't touched in years rediscover passion just by learning to slow down and talk. I've seen love come back to life in the eyes of people who thought it was gone forever. And every time it happens, it reminds me that the heart doesn't age the way the body does. It keeps learning, it keeps growing, it keeps wanting to connect. So if you take only one thing from this message, let it be this: your partner doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs you to be present. She needs to feel your attention, your patience, your care. She needs to know that when you reach for her, it's not out of habit or need, but out of love. That's what makes her feel safe. That's what makes her open again. That's what makes her trust that you still see her, truly see her. And when you give her that kind of love, everything changes. The bedroom becomes a place of warmth again. The tension fades, the fear fades. In its place, there's laughter, softness, and connection. That's not fantasy. It's what happens when two people decide that growing older together doesn't mean growing apart. It means growing closer. So to every man listening, take a breath and remind yourself that your story isn't over. You are not finished. You are still capable of deep love, powerful intimacy, and genuine joy. Your best years are not behind you. They are waiting for you to show up with presence, with curiosity, and with an open heart. And when you do, you won't just transform your relationship, you'll transform yourself. Because in the end, love at this stage of life isn't about proving anything. It's about being everything: gentle, honest, caring, human. That's what makes these years so meaningful. That's what makes love last. And that's what every woman over 60 wishes her partner would understand, that real intimacy doesn't fade with age, it finally becomes real. Thank you for listening. And remember, the greatest gift you can give the woman you love isn't your strength or your performance, it's your presence, your patience, your heart. That's what she's been waiting for. And that's what will make these years the most beautiful of your life.